Hi, I'm Zoe and I work in liquor licensing at Consumer and Business Services.
And I'm Didier from the Australian Hotels Association.
Today we're going to talk through the new forms that CBS has introduced for licensees when they wish to bar someone from their premises. Under the Liquor Licensing Act, a licensee or responsible person, RP, may bar someone from their premises if the person has committed an offence, behaved in an offensive or disorderly manner, or on any other reasonable ground. A patron can also be barred on welfare grounds, but we'll touch on that later. We recently reviewed our barring forms to improve the layout and create an additional section to be completed if a licensee wishes to apply to CBS to bar someone for more than the maximum period that would otherwise apply. Let's start with the basics. Didier, for how long can a patron be barred from a venue on misconduct grounds?
Thanks, Zoe. For barring on misconduct grounds, you can bar someone for up to 3 months for a first barring, up to 6 months for a second barring, and for an indefinite period or other specified period if they've already been barred twice previously from that venue. However, if the conduct is so serious that you want to bar someone for a longer period on a first or second barring, then you will need the Commissioner's approval.
That's right, Didier, and that's where our new form should guide you in this process. The new form has an optional section at the back which a licensee needs to complete if they are seeking approval to bar someone for more than the 3 or 6 month maximum. It's important to note the optional section only needs to be filled out if the licensee wishes to bar someone for an extended period. If the 3 or 6 months is appropriate, just fill out the barring order as normal and ignore the optional section. Didier, let's run through an example.
Sure, Zoe. Let's say Tom's the RP here at the Strathmore Hotel and he gets a glass thrown at him by patron Jim when he's refused any more service. This is certainly grounds for a barring order. Jim has never been barred from this pub before, so the maximum Tom can bar him for is 3 months. Tom thinks the misconduct is so serious that he wants to bar Jim for 12 months. What does Tom need to do, Zoe?
So, Tom can fill out the barring order for 3 months and serve it on Jim. This would ensure that Jim is barred from entering or remaining on the premises at the Strathmore Hotel for 3 months. At this point, Tom has no legal authority to bar Jim for longer than 3 months because this is his first barring. Once the barring order has been served on Jim, Tom needs to complete the optional section and request an extended period of 12 months from CBS. Tom needs to outline in the form why he thinks 12 months should be imposed.
So just to clarify, Zoe, if Tom serves the barring order on Jim on the spot, does the optional section need to be filled in and served on Jim as well?
No, it can be sent to CBS later with a copy of the original barring order. If the barred person is not served on the spot, the entire form, including the optional section, can be completed as one and served on the barred person and CBS later. CBS will consider whether the extended period should be approved and will contact Jim to seek his views. CBS will notify both parties of the Commissioner's decision. So, if the Commissioner agreed that 12 months was appropriate, Jim would be notified that he's barred from the hotel for 12 months. If the Commissioner thought 12 months was excessive, Jim would still be barred for 3 months. If Jim is unhappy about being barred, whatever the period, as long as it's more than 28 days, he can seek a review of the barring. It's important to note that Jim's right of review is not affected by Tom seeking an extended period.
So what happens if Tom applies for the extended period but CBS can't get in contact with Jim?
It's a great question. We certainly appreciate that finding out someone's contact details in the context of a barring can be difficult for licensees. Sometimes those details come to light when the dust settles and the barred person is not happy with being barred. Police can assist in providing information to licensees or RPs to help identify the person before or after a barring order is served. CBS would make every effort to contact the barred person when considering an extended period, but if that's not possible, a decision would still be made and the venue notified of the outcome. If the extended period is approved, the licensee may be able to serve the barred person with this outcome at a later time if they return to the venue. Police may also be able to assist CBS to notify the barred person of the outcome.
Okay, thank you for that. So when does the licensee need to provide a barring order to CBS?
In 2 instances. So first, a barring order must be provided to CBS within 7 days of service for any barring longer than 6 months. The barring order ceases to have effect if this is not done. And secondly, if a licensee is seeking approval for an extended period, as we've discussed today, they would provide CBS with a copy of the original barring order, including the optional section.
Thanks, Zoe. And our tip for licensed venues is do not give the original order to the patron without photocopying the form first. This can be as simple as taking a photo of the order before serving it on the patron. Just make sure it's a clear photo.
That's a great tip. Now let's talk about welfare barrings. Didier, could you take us through the grounds for a welfare barring?
Certainly. So a person can be barred if there are welfare concerns for that person, their family, or someone living with them that relates to the consumption of alcohol. I understand there's some now separate forms for welfare barrings.
That's correct. Given that welfare barrings by licensees are less common and they operate differently, we've created a separate form for barring someone on welfare grounds. As the form indicates, a person barred on welfare grounds may be barred for an indefinite period or any specified period from the first barring. There's no need to seek the Commissioner's approval for the period imposed. So there's no optional section in this form. If the person is barred for more than 6 months, the licensee must still provide a copy of the barring order to the Commissioner within 7 days.
So deciding whether to impose a welfare barring can be a complex and sensitive situation to navigate, so don't hesitate to contact CBS or your industry representative for further guidance.
Thanks, Didier. So we hope that these forms will provide a clearer process for licensees and RPs when they need to issue a barring. But if you do encounter any issues or you wish to provide feedback, please contact us either through your industry rep or by emailing liquorandgaming@sa.gov.au. The new forms will also be made available on the CBS website. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.